Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar, and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha with the Midday News. The headlines. India inches close to milestone of administering nearly 4 crore 50 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses. Centre asks Uttarakhand government to put in place stringent measures to control the spread of COVID-19 during Kumbh Mela. Campaigning gathers momentum for upcoming assembly election. Star campaigners hold rallies to woo the voters. India crosses a milestone in setting up of 70,000 Ayushman Bharat health and wellness centres providing healthcare to more than 41 crore people. President Ram Nath Kovind says national education policy aims to make India a global knowledge superpower in the 21st century. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch the Jal Shakti Abhiyan Catch the Rain campaign tomorrow. Today is International Day of Forests. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar stresses on creation of urban forests in the cities with the help of new Nagar Van scheme. Northern Railway announces 18 pairs of new special trains for the convenience of passengers during Holi. In Jammu and Kashmir, Badamwadi Garden in Srinagar reopens for general public as well as tourists. And after registering an emphatic win against England, Virat Kohli says he will open with Rohit Sharma in upcoming T20 World Cup cricket. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now, the news in detail. India has inched closer to touch the significant milestone of administering nearly 4 crore 50 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses. Continuing with administration of over 2 million doses in a single day, more than 25 lakh 40,000 doses were given yesterday. With this, the cumulative vaccination figure in the country has crossed the tally of 4 crore 46 lakh doses. India is one of the fastest countries in the world to achieve these figures in a short span of time. The nation commenced the largest vaccination drive in the world on the 16th of January this year, with the vaccination of healthcare workers first. Vaccination of frontline workers began from 2nd of February, whereas the most recent phase began from 1st of this month, encompassing vaccination of everyone aged above 60 years and above 45 years with specified comorbidities. The Health Ministry has informed that in just 20 days of the current phase, nearly 1 crore 70 lakh senior citizens above 60 years and over 35 lakh people above 45 years with comorbidities have been administered the first shot of the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Ministry has informed that the COVID-19 recovery rate in the country today stands at 95.96%. It said in the last 24 hours, nearly 23,000 people were discharged after recovery. Till now, over 1 crore 11 lakh people have recovered from the COVID-19 infection. In the last 24 hours, 43,846 new cases were reported. The number of active cases in the country stands at just above the 3 lakh figure, comprising around 2.66% of the total reported cases. The Health Ministry has informed that 197 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours due to COVID-19, taking the cumulative toll to 1,59,755. Indian Council of Medical Research, or ICMR, has informed that over 11,33,000 samples were tested for COVID-19 in the country yesterday. With this, the cumulative testing figure has crossed the mark of 23 crore 35 lakh. As of today, 2,423 laboratories are engaged in the work of testing COVID samples across the country, which includes 1,226 government and 1,197 private labs. The Union Health Secretary, Rajesh Bhushan, has written to the Chief Secretary of Uttarakhand, strongly highlighting the concerns raised by the high-level central team in its visit to Uttarakhand and about the need for stringent measures to control the spread of COVID-19 during Kumbh Mela. A high-level central team visited Uttarakhand recently to review the medical and public health preparedness measures undertaken by the state for the ongoing Kumbh Mela in Haridwar. The Union Health Secretary has also observed that currently more than 12 states have shown a surge in COVID-19 cases during past few weeks. Pilgrims expected to visit Haridwar during the Kumbh Mela could also be from these states. He said it has been noted that there is a potential of an upsurge in cases in the local population after the Shahi Snan days during the Kumbh Mela. The Secretary also noted that as per the report of the central team, 10 to 20 pilgrims and 10 to 20 locals are being reported positive every day. This positivity rate has the potential to rapidly turn to an upsurge in cases given the expected large footfall during Kumbh. The state has been informed that the daily testing numbers reported in Haridwar are not enough to effectively offset huge number of expected pilgrim footfall. It has been advised that the share of RT-PCR tests being conducted at present needs to be significantly increased as per the ICMR guidelines to ensure that the pilgrims and local population is appropriately tested.
Mumbai Municipal Corporation BMC has said that rapid antigen testing for COVID-19 infections will be done at random at crowded places in Mumbai in the wake of the surge in COVID-19 cases in the city. The tests will be done at malls, railway stations, bus depots, markets, tourist places and government offices. The BMC also said if a citizen refuses to get tested, they will be booked under the Epidemic Act. On Friday, India's financial capital logged the highest spike of 3,062 new COVID-19 cases, taking its caseload to 3,55,897. Currently, Mumbai has 34 containment zones in slums and chawls and 305 sealed buildings where COVID-19 cases have been found. In Jammu and Kashmir, Divisional Administration Kashmir has held a vaccination drive against COVID-19 amongst ulemas and muftis. They were administered vaccine shots at Sher-e-Kashmir Institute of Medical Sciences at Shora in Srinagar yesterday. Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, has said that corona infection is spreading again in the state as more cases are being reported from Indore, Bhopal and Jabalpur. The Chief Minister said that he is against the imposition of lockdown, which will affect the state's economy. He has appealed to everyone to wear masks. A report from our Bhopal correspondent.
Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan said that the most effective way to avoid corona is to wear a mask. Be sure to wear a mask to protect yourself, family, country and region from corona. As a precaution, the lockdown has been imposed in Indore, Bhopal and Jabalpur cities on Sunday. The police and administration teams in Bhopal moving around the streets and lanes. Announcement on loudspeakers about the lockdown orders is also being made. All the roads are blocked for commuters and only those with valid reason are being allowed to travel. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Chhattisgarh, COVID guidelines are being enforced strictly following a surge in COVID-19 cases. Strict action is being taken against those who are violating guidelines. Various district administrations are conducting awareness campaigns to make people aware of the need to take all necessary preventive measures against corona infection. In the state, 1,273 new corona-infected patients were identified yesterday. With these, the number of corona-infected people in the state has increased to about 3,23,000. Currently, almost 7,700 patients are being treated in various hospitals or in home isolation. Expert doctors of the state have appealed to the people to get the test done immediately as soon as the symptoms of corona infection appear. Meanwhile, COVID vaccination is also continuing vigorously in the state. Yesterday, around 75,000 people were vaccinated against coronavirus. State Immunization Officer Dr. Amar Singh Thakur said that a sufficient number of vaccines are available in the state and soon 5,26,000 new vaccines are to be received from the central government. The new vaccine consignment will arrive in the next few days.
In view of the surge in COVID-19 cases in some parts of the country, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar instructed health officials to ramp up vaccination and to keep a close watch on people returning home from other states, either by train, bus or flights, for the forthcoming Holi festival. Reviewing the COVID-19 scenario in the state at a high-level meeting, the Chief Minister asked officials to ensure COVID testing of passengers arriving at railway stations, bus stands and airports in the state. Mr. Nitish Kumar said at least 70% testing in the state should be conducted through the RT-PCR method. He asserted that the report should be provided to the person concerned within 24 hours. He said schools in the state will remain open. The fresh surge in COVID-19 cases has so far not taken such an alarming proportion in Bihar that schools should be closed. Telangana reported 394 fresh COVID-19 cases during the past 24 hours. With this, the total number of COVID cases reported in the state so far has gone up to 303,118. The state COVID bulletin revealed that 194 more persons recovered from COVID during the same time, taking the state's recovery rate to 98.52%. With this, the state has currently over 2,800 active COVID-19 cases, out of which over 1,100 are in home isolation. Meanwhile, 3 more persons succumbed to COVID-19 and other comorbidities in the state, taking the toll to 1,669. India has crossed a key milestone in universal primary healthcare. The target of operationalizing 70,000 Ayushman Bharat health and wellness centers by the 31st of March has been achieved ahead of time. About 41.35 crore people have accessed primary healthcare services at these health and wellness centers. About 54% of them are women. More than 9.45 lakh teleconsultations have been done at these centers. A report.
The launch of Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centres in April 2018 marked a watershed moment in India's public health history. A total of 150,000 sub-health centres and primary health centres in urban and rural areas were targeted to be transformed to Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centres by 2022. These centres deliver expanded range services that go beyond maternal and child healthcare services. These services include care for non-communicable diseases, palliative and rehabilitative care, oral, eye and ENT care, mental health and first-level care for emergencies and trauma. So far, these centres have conducted 64.4 lakh wellness sessions. Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
Frontline leaders are on a whirlwind election campaign to woo the voters in poll-bound states of West Bengal, Assam, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and the Union Territory of Puducherry. As the first phase of assembly elections is nearing in both Assam and West Bengal, the campaigning is gaining momentum. In Assam, senior BJP leader and Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the BJP-led government is committed for the welfare of the Tea tribe of Assam. Addressing an election rally at Bokakhat, Mr. Modi said that the BJP-led government is committed to march ahead with the Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas mantra. Mr. Modi said that BJP-led government in Assam was able to bring peace and stability in the state as well as stopped rhino poaching. He also said that much emphasis has been given in infrastructure development in the state.
एनडीए के सेवा काल में ब्रह्मपुत्र पर आधुनिक पुल बन रहे हैं, पुराने अधूरे पुलों को पूरा किया जा रहा है। कांग्रेस के राज में सवाल था कि दशकों से अशांत चल रहे असम में कभी शांति आएगी क्या, आएगी या नहीं आएगी। एनडीए के सेवा काल में आज असम में शांति स्थापित हुई है और स्थिरता भी आई है।
Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi Vadra will also address 3 rallies in Upper Assam today. The Election Commission has restrained the political appointees who are heading the municipal corporations in West Bengal after expiry of their elected term from exercising the functions during the ongoing poll period. The Commission said a committee headed by the State Chief Secretary will appoint the government officials to discharge the functions of the administrators and head of Board of Administrators in these local bodies till the time the Model Code of Conduct is in place in poll-bound state. The poll panel added that it is expected of the Chief Secretary to ensure a level playing field in all other municipal bodies in West Bengal by rigorous reviews of their decisions which can disturb the level playing field. Earlier, the BJP had approached the Election Commission demanding removal of such political appointments made by the TMC government. 47 assembly constituencies in Assam and 30 assembly constituencies of West Bengal will go to polls on the 27th of this month in the first phase. Assam will be witnessing 3-phase elections while West Bengal will go to polls in 8 phases this time. In the second phase, polling will be held on 1st of April in 30 constituencies of West Bengal and 39 seats in Assam. Meanwhile, tomorrow is the last date for withdrawal of candidatures for single-phase assembly elections in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Union Territory of Puducherry and third-phase assembly polls in West Bengal and Assam to be held on 6th of April. Scrutiny of nominations took place yesterday in the 4 states and the Union Territory. Election campaign in Kerala has gained momentum. More from our correspondent.
After the scrutiny of nominations held yesterday, a total of 1,061 candidates are contesting from 140 constituencies in the state. BJP candidates have approached the High Court against the rejection of their nomination papers in 3 constituencies. Court is expected to consider the petition today afternoon. Meanwhile, as just 17 more days are left for the polls, all the 3 major political fronts have intensified their campaign. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has reached Munnar today as part of his statewide election campaign. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi will arrive in Kerala tomorrow to boost the UDF campaign. He will attend various rallies and public meetings in the state for the next 2 days. Union Minister Anurag Thakur, who is visiting the state as part of the NDA campaign, said that Kerala didn't benefit anything from both the left and right government so far. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
The counting of votes in the 4 states and the Union Territory will take place on the 2nd of May. In the poll-bound Union Territory of Puducherry, the electioneering campaign is going on for the assembly elections. The UT will be witnessing single-phase election and all the assembly constituencies will go to polls on the 6th of April. The total strength of the House is 30, out of which 5 seats are reserved for the scheduled castes. Presently, there are 7 vacancies in the House.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. India inches close to milestone of administering nearly 4 crore 50 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses. Centre asks Uttarakhand government to put in place stringent measures to control the spread of COVID-19 during Kumbh Mela. Campaigning gathers momentum for upcoming assembly elections. Star campaigners hold rallies to woo the voters. India crosses a milestone in setting up of 70,000 Ayushman Bharat health and wellness centres, providing healthcare to more than 41 crore people. President Ramnath Kovind says national education policy aims to make India a global knowledge superpower in the 21st century. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch the Jal Shakti Abhiyan Catch the Rain campaign tomorrow. Today is International Day of Forests. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar stresses on creation of urban forests in the cities with the help of new Nagar Van scheme. Northern Railway announces 18 pairs of new special trains for the convenience of passengers during Holi. In Jammu and Kashmir, Badamwadi Garden in Srinagar reopens for general public as well as tourists. And after registering an emphatic win against England, Virat Kohli says he will open with Rohit Sharma in upcoming T20 World Cup cricket. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. President Ramnath Kovind addressed the 18th annual convocation of National Institute of Technology in Rourkela today. Delivering the convocation speech, the President said, an institution must contribute towards empowering the community in its surroundings.
A university and institution must contribute towards empowering the community in its surroundings. I have been advocating for universities' social responsibility in the line with corporate social responsibility. I am happy to note that NIT Rourkela has adopted 5 villages as part of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan.
Speaking about the implementation of the new national education policy, Mr. Kovind said it has an objective to make India a global knowledge superpower in the 21st century.
One of the objectives of the national education policy is to make India a global knowledge superpower in 21st century. Institutions like NIT Rourkela have to play a major role in achieving these national aims.
More from our correspondent.
During the event, 3 eminent persons have been confirmed Doctor of Science degree for their outstanding contributions in various fields. Apart from this, 8 alumni have received the Distinguished Alumnus Award. Along with this, 6 gold and 70 silver medals have been given to the students. Governor of Odisha, Professor Ganeshi Lal, Union Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, State Health Minister Nabakishore Das and the Member of Parliament from Sundargarh, Joel Oram were also present during the event. Itish Singh Rathore, AIN News, Cuttack.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch the Jal Shakti Abhiyan Catch the Rain campaign tomorrow on the occasion of World Water Day via video conferencing. In the presence of the Prime Minister, the signing of historic memorandum of agreement between the Minister of Jal Shakti and the Chief Ministers of Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh to implement the Ken-Betwa Link project will also take place. This is the first project of the National Perspective Plan for interlinking of rivers. The campaign will be undertaken across the country in both rural and urban areas with the theme Catch the Rain, Where It Falls, When It Falls. It will be implemented from tomorrow to the 30th of November, the pre-monsoon and monsoon period in the country. It will be launched as a Jan Andolan to take water conservation at grassroots level through people's participation. It is intended to nudge all stakeholders to create rainwater harvesting structures suitable to the climatic conditions and subsoil strata to ensure proper storage of rainwater. Union Environment and Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has said that the new Nagar Van scheme will help in creation of urban forests in the cities. In his message on the occasion of International Day of Forests today, Mr. Javadekar said the scheme will also fill the gap between the cities and villages in terms of having their own forest cover. He cited India's age-old tradition of developing and caring for village forests in vicinity of almost every rural patch. Under the Nagar Van scheme, urban forests will be developed in 200 cities in its first phase. The United Nations General Assembly proclaimed 21st of March as the International Day of Forests in 2012. The day celebrates and raises awareness of the importance of all types of forests.
The Finance Ministry has said that taxpayers are free to utilize input tax credit available in their credit ledger as permissible by law to discharge their GST due for March month. It said certain sections of media reported that some GST officers are using unauthorized communication means such as phone calls, WhatsApp and messages asking taxpayers to discharge maximum tax liability in cash in order to ensure that targets for revenue collection from GST for the financial year are met. The Finance Ministry clarified that neither the government nor the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs have issued any such instructions to their field formations. Under Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, Goa is paired with Jharkhand. A lot of exchange activities have taken place earlier, but many projects are yet to materialize due to pandemic restrictions.
There has been lot of programs happening earlier between Goa and Jharkhand states under the Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. Lokotsav had evoked good response and folklore artists as well as the craftsmen from both the states got an opportunity to display their skill and talent. Goan artists and folklorists had visited Jharkhand to present the dances and other art forms. Workshop to make the bangles from the lac was held in the Panji, in which artisans expert guided the women artists from the Goa. At the moment, literature from the Goa and Jharkhand is being translated. There are more programs as scheduled by the Art and Culture Department of the Goa, but owing to the pandemic COVID-19, the programs have not yet come to the fruition. Tushar Jadhav for AR News from Panji.
Railways will run special trains to clear rush during the upcoming Holi festival. These trains will run on daily, weekly, bi-weekly and tri-weekly basis. Northern Railway has announced 18 pairs of new special trains for the convenience of passengers during Holi. Passengers will have to follow all COVID-19 related protocols and guidelines during the journey. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the government has reopened the Badamwadi Garden in Srinagar for the general public as well as tourists from today in an attempt to promote tourism and revive cultural activities in the Kashmir Valley. The aromatic garden in Srinagar is currently witnessing an almond bloom. More from our Srinagar correspondent.
The aromatic garden in Srinagar city is currently witnessing an almond bloom all around, thus mesmerizing the people visiting over there. The aromatic garden is known as Badamwadi in the Kashmiri language. The Tourism Department of Kashmir organized the pre-opening and colorful cultural programs at Badamwadi yesterday to announce the opening of the garden for the general public from today. During the opening ceremony, a number of cultural activities including traditional folk songs and group dance known as Kashmiri Roof were performed by the local artists of the Kashmir Valley. Badamwadi was closed for visitors last year despite almond bloom due to the unprecedented COVID-19 lockdown circumstances. Meanwhile, Director Tourism Kashmir Mr. Ghulam Nabi Ittu has said that tourists drawn from various parts of the country should come and enjoy the scenic beauty of Kashmir. This is Sunil Kohl for AR News from Srinagar.
Aggressive India skipper Virat Kohli is planning to open with flamboyant Rohit Sharma in the forthcoming T20 World Cup scheduled to be held in India later this year. After toppling England in the high-scoring fifth 2020 international yesterday, Kohli said that he will definitely like to partner with Rohit Sharma during the T20 World Cup. He said that he is going to open in the IPL also. Yesterday, Kohli opened with Rohit Sharma in the final T20 against England. They added 94 runs for the first wicket in quick time as India posted a massive 224 for 2 and won the match by 36 runs. A special feature of the forthcoming visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Bangladesh will be the attire of the occasion. Mujib jackets made up of khadi will be the attire of dignitaries during visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Bangladesh on the 26th and 27th of March.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for the day. National capital Delhi may experience partly cloudy sky with haze. It registered 15 degrees Celsius as the minimum temperature and may have a maximum temperature of 35 degrees. Mumbai with partly cloudy sky will have maximum temperature of 35 degrees Celsius. The city recorded a minimum of 23 degrees. Chennai is having a partly cloudy sky with temperature rising up to 32 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperature in the city was 23 degrees. Kolkata with partly cloudy sky is likely to have a maximum temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. Srinagar may witness generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Jammu is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Leh is having generally cloudy sky. It is expected to have a maximum temperature of 9 degrees Celsius, rising from -4 degrees. Gilgit is expected to have rain or snowfall with the temperature hovering between 6 and 22 degrees Celsius. And in Muzaffarabad, it will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Maximum temperature will be around 20 degrees Celsius, while the minimum was 11 degrees. Dehradun will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India inches close to milestone of administering nearly 4 crore 50 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses. Centre asks Uttarakhand government to put in place stringent measures to control the spread of COVID-19 during Kumbh Mela. Campaigning gathers momentum for upcoming assembly election. Star campaigners hold rallies to woo the voters. India crosses a milestone in setting up of 70,000 Ayushman Bharat health and wellness centers, providing healthcare to more than 41 crore people. President Ram Nath Kovind says, National education policy aims to make India a global knowledge superpower in the 21st century. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch the Jal Shakti Abhiyan Catch the Rain campaign tomorrow. Today is International Day of Forests. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar stresses on creation of urban forests in the cities with the help of new Nagar One scheme. Northern Railway announces 18 pairs of new special trains for the convenience of passengers during Holi. In Jammu and Kashmir, Badamwadi Garden in Srinagar reopens for general public as well as tourists. After registering an emphatic win against England, Virat Kohli says he will open with Rohit Sharma in the upcoming T20 World Cup cricket. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the Midday News.